This was from one Canadian store. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Was it from a Home Depot? Yes. Was it from a Home Depot store? Yes. So it was from Home Depot. Okay? Whether it was one store or all the stores, it didn't change anything. The fact that this kind of garbage is pandered and put out there under the heading and with a corporate logo from Home Depot, tells you everything you need to know. Oh, but it was just the one store. Oh, well, it was just the one cancer cell. Oh, it was just the one little piece of rot on the fruit. You could still sell it. No, because today's spot is tomorrow's rot, folks. So you got to look at, if you can see it in one little space, we got to stop this stuff. When you're sitting there trying to put out a corporate document, and don't even try, it's sitting there and say, oh, it's just one store. Yeah, and it was just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. You know, we got all this stuff. You want to just say, oh, it's just a no big deal. I'm tired of the no big deal bullshit that becomes a major deal because nobody wants to talk about it. So we're going to talk about this. You know, if you're confident that the police exist to protect you, you have white privilege. If while growing up, college was an expectation of you, not a dream, you have class privilege. If you can expect time off from work to celebrate your religious holidays, you have Christian privilege. Forget the fact that Muslims have way more time. Their holidays last a month. If you can use public bathrooms without stares, fear, or anxiety, you have cisgender privilege. If you don't have to worry about how to get into a store, you have able-bodied privilege. If you don't have to explain that your spouse is of the same gender, you have heterosexual privilege. So check your privilege. If you're white, male, and you have a class and a Christian, cisgender, able-bodied, heterosexual, then you got privilege. You need to unpack your privilege. You should feel guilty. So if you can go in the bathroom and take a dump without fear, you got privilege. Oh, my gosh. Racial prejudice and power, a set of discriminatory or derogatory attitudes based on assumptions coming from perceptions about race or skin color. No, I have a perception about whoever wrote this crap, because you're the problem. You are the problem. I mean, this stuff never, literally, in day-to-day life, this doesn't cross my mind. When I'm out in public and I'm engaging with other human beings, I don't sit there and go, black person, gonna have to take a little back seat here. As a brown person, it never crosses my mind. And if it crosses your mind to the point where you got to come up with this stuff and try to indoctrinate everybody to make them feel guilty, you're the problem. You're the freaking issue. So I tell you a story, Chris. I went down to Galveston. People don't know certain things about me. I like to fly kites. Okay? I love kites. It's very relaxing to me.
Now, the question is, did you suntan the back of your legs? Because last year...
I burned them. I did.
You burned them.
So I had, at the end, after a couple days down in Galveston, I had very red, white legs. All right? The sun hasn't really seen these legs in a while. So I got a little burn on the back of the legs. But I like to fly kites, as you remember from last year's episode. I got a collection of kites, and they're reasonably expensive kites. I love these things, right? So I go out there and I fly them. Privilege. But I walk down on the beach, and there's these two boys. One's a teenager, older teenager, and the other's probably about 12 years old. And they're trying to get a kite off the ground. And so I walked over to them because I wanted to see what problem was. Well, they were missing the center line. The center bar. They go, I said, where'd you get this kite? You're missing your bar here. You're missing your center. There's a lot of lessons in this, by the way. And they said, well, we found this kite. It had just washed up on the shore. And I said, well, here, you fly my kite. And they did. And the 12-year-old boy, he goes, I've never flown a kite. And I had the thing up pretty high. I got it up for him, and he was holding on to it. And it was a big kite, so I said, hold on to it. He'd never flown a kite before. He was just thrilled, right? And his brother or cousin or whatever was with, they were just having a blast. So I went and found a stick on the beach, and I made a center bar for that kite that they had. And we got it up. I flew that kite for a while and let them fly my big kite. And we just had a ball, man. We just had a great time talking, getting to know each other, hanging out. Their family came down on the beach, visited with them too. And, oh, yeah, they were all Puerto Ricans. They were all Puerto Ricans, Chris. It never crossed my mind until I started thinking about this stuff that the whole interaction for hours that day on the beach was with a brown family.